After you have installed Peppermint into your computer, I'll run over some of the things that I like to put in, and I'll give you the reasons why. First of all, we'll go over here to the menu, and then we're going to come up to System, and we'll go to Software Manager, I should say. When that loads up, one of the first things I like to put in, where I'm going to be bringing some files in out of Windows, is I want to put in fonts that are Microsoft True Fonts. So I've installed this in here into my system. Now any others that are in here would have came in automatic when we first installed our system in. Then one of the other things that I like to put in would be in the Office category, because I'm going to use their word processor, which is very good. So I would install this writer here. These others would come in automatic except for this one. This one I would install, these two here. Everything else will come in when you're installing your system. Okay, now other than that, the other thing that you will find that came in automatic would have been the internet, and it defaults to Firefox. Now you can use the other browsers if you choose. I like Firefox, and then I'll show you how to install Opera. That's a Windows browser in here in a little bit. Then under the other one that I would install, that some of it comes in automatic. For instance, you will find this comes in automatic. That's your multimedia player. Now if you're going to run DVD movies into your computer, later I'll show you how to do that. The other one, if you have a webcam that I love to put in, is called Cheese. Cheese works with your webcam wherever you go. So it's a very good program. If you're going to be editing videos, then I would put OpenShot in. That's very good. And then the rest of it is kind of up to you what you want to put in. These are things that I like to put in. You can put in the maps if you choose, but that's up to you. I don't necessarily going to put them in. Graphics, I don't put a lot of it in. You got this player, and some of this I don't care for. And when one of them's in here for a drawing program that I don't like, I would open it up and say remove. When I tell it to remove, it'll ask for my password that I built when I installed the system. Once I give it, it will remove that. That's one I don't use and I don't particularly care for. You might like it. So that's up to you what you choose to do with that one. The other one is Blender. Again, I don't use it, therefore I don't particularly care for it. But you might like it. In my case, I will remove it because it was automatically installed in the beginning. So we're going to remove that. You only put in what you want and what you're going to use. Anything extra you don't have put in. Shutter is a program that you can put in. It takes screenshot pictures of your screen, so it's up to you whether you want to put it in. There's others there that you can choose, but at this point I'm not putting them in. Now that's when you come into accessories, you've got these others that you can put in. I don't use zip files much, so I don't really want to put that in. You can if you do. Okay, and we remove that. Reason it's not asking for my password on this is I gave it a while ago and I'm still in here, so it still stands. This is my processor viewer. I don't really want to look at that. I don't really need that. Again, it would show me everything going on with my processor, but if you choose to use it, you can. It's pretty much up to you. It's all free. It doesn't cost you anything for none of these. That's the good thing about Peppermint. And Peppermint, I believe, is one of the best Linux systems. which I'm still studying it and will be teaching it, but I think it's the best. Games, I don't really put games in. It comes in with some automatic, but I don't really care for it, so I don't monkey with that. You may change a difference there. And then in the office, I've showed you programming science. I don't use that much. And then in here, I've already showed you in here what I would put in. System tools. You can see in here, it's put this in here, package manager. That's a good program, but that comes in automatic, so you don't got to worry about it. So does your update manager, so that's fine. You don't need to worry about that thing. And all the rest of this, it's put in automatic, and so you don't really need to worry about it. I would stay clear until you really get really good with that as far as the sudo. That's for your terminal manager, which if you avoid using that, you can mess your system up if you try to do the wrong thing. So I probably wouldn't put that in, not as a beginner. Editor's pick, and you can see that I've used part of them. This one is a cross point, I do use it. This in here is to edit music. It's a very good program, and so I do install that. And when you click on install, I've already entered my password before, so as long as I'm in here, most of the time it'll go ahead and install or remove without redoing it. You can see this supports MP2s, MP3s, WAV files. I like to use the WAV, and then I can always convert it to MP4 and put it up on YouTube. I will pause here while it's finishing this, and then I'll continue. As you can see, it's finished now, so we'll go on. Now, in here, the rest of this, I don't really care for. Cheese I use a lot because that will go with your webcam, so that's still in there. Now, in the flat pack, that's extra things you can put in. There's not a whole lot at this time that I use. The one that they have here, I do put it in if I'm going to run a DVD movie in this Peppermint system. And so there's two versions of that, and by putting this in, I can play DVD movies in my computer. That's running two of them. You've got the first one that goes in automatic, and this is another one that you put in afterwards. I'll pause while this is installing. As you can see now, it's installed. Now I'm going to set this all down. One of the things that I didn't go over at first is after you've installed your system, the first thing you want to do is open this shield here. So you just pop it open. And you're going to have a whole lot of files that needs to be installed updates to. So this is all the updates, and you'll just click on install updates. That's the very first thing after you put your system in. Now, we have installed pretty much what I want to use. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to go online, and I'm going to show you how to install a Windows program. We'll go to Opera when I get it clicked here. Opera is a Windows browser that's used in a lot of Windows programs. So what I do is you click here on the download, and you download it now, and what it'll pop up here, and you just say save, and it'll go up here as you can see. Now that one is a little different. It could be an exe. but in this case it didn't. This particular one came in this way, so it came in pretty much for Linux. Now if I shut this down and I go in here to this file folder right down there and I open up my downloads, you'll see it here. Now with one of these, and I've already had one there, so I downloaded it at the beginning, but then when you right click your mouse, it opens this up. And if you come here, open with software install, click on that, and you say install. It'll ask for your password. Now if the program comes in as an exe, then the operation would be a little different, and I'll get into that later on. And yes, we want to update it, so we click next. And then it goes ahead and installs this browser off of mine. This is a very fast browser, good for beginners, very good for beginners. Excuse me. Now I'll pause while this continues to install. Now as you can see, it's installed. Okay, anyhow, we don't have to worry about that for now. I don't want to keep these here in this download, so I will highlight them and delete them and get them out of there now, so that's clear. Now we shut down the file folder. We come to the menu, and we come over here to Internet. Now you've got a new browser that was a Windows browser that's in here, and you open that up. And like I said, it's a very fast browser. It comes with a lot of bookmarks. And when you're using it, you just click on one of the bookmarks. You can add your own, by the way. When you get done there, if you look up here and click on this, it goes back to the start page. So it works real well. But you can add new ones in here anytime you want, add new bookmarks. It's very good for beginners. I've used it several times and promote it for beginners. Well, that'll do for this lesson, and thank you for listening in.